Wow, it appears I may not have a countdown clock anymore. We'll see how this behaves once I'm done. So we may not have to chop it up into little pieces, but I still think I want to, because I think having it in chunks helps. This is a security expense, part of ENMU IS 301. This is Chapter 9, Cybercrime and Information System Security. When I was going for my master's degree, I had a choice. I had a choice of what to do. And one of them was take the security route, and the other one was take the management route. I chose the management route because I am not enamored of the concept of computer security. It's not interesting to me. I don't like it. It'll come out in a very visceral way in these recordings. Let me tell you why. It says, number one, security is a business expense, okay? People try to paint it as some kind of wonderful feature. Look at how secure we are with your information. And you go, and I'm sorry, I'm the first one to say, why the heck do you have my information in the first place? I don't willingly give it out to you. When you say, well, we must have your social security number, and it's like, why? And the answer is no. The government needs it. That's all. Anybody else? No. Come up with a matriculation number, do whatever you need to do. Ask me the question. It's annoying, but if that's the security posture that I take with businesses, and that's the security posture I think businesses should take toward such exposure, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. There's no value add here. It's an expense. It's just like electricity. If your company is keeping on all these bright lights in the business all during the night and said you better have a better reason than you're just lazy about electricity, that's just an expense. Why bother? Smart business is to reduce the cost of business so that you might readily draw profit from it. Come on. Isn't that what we're here for? And security is just like electricity. I said, you have to have it, but if you can reduce your need for it, you get to keep more profits. Whee! That's fun. Or you can reduce your costs, that's a cost reduction. I'm sorry, not that. Or you can reduce your prices so you can be more competitive, knock out your competitors. Then you can have more profits. It's kind of like that. You got to be, all right, there we go. Remember what the goal is for security. Having the best security is probably not your business model unless that's your business. If your business is computer security, then of course you want to do a good job. That's one of your selling points. Look at how secure we are. If you're selling T-shirts, that's not your business is security, okay? So security should be outsourced. Okay, I'm sorry. I need to go on to here because I'm already talking about what I'm going to talk about here in a minute. Okay. Reducing your exposure to threats. This is such a crazy idea that you guys will come back and go, but that's not what the book says. Oh my gosh, the book is not talking about this, Nemro. And you go, I don't care. The biggest way you reduce the need to spend on security is that you don't collect and store information that you don't want exposed. Here's a common thing. Because it's really convenient. And so that helps. But to a certain point after you do this, you have to explain to your customers, and it's a hard sell, to say, why don't they just hold on to my credit card information for me? Therefore, I can just hit a buy button, and it just knows everything I already want to know. It knows my address, it knows all that stuff, yada, yada, yada. I don't want to be specific about vendors, about certain products. Like, for instance, I use PayPal. For what little business I actually do out there, I actually try to sell. I try to sell some of my books or a product or two. It's, I use eBay because I'm lazy, and I use PayPal because I don't want to screw with the money. And that's my biggest thing for every single business in the whole freaking world. It's not to use PayPal, but it is to use an outsourced uh, uh, transaction service. So I don't have to know a person's credit card number. Heck, I don't even have to know their address. Makes it very, 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 very convenient because I might not need to know anything about that person during the transaction at all. I don't need to know their credit card. I don't need to know their shipping addresses. I don't need to collect any of that stuff. PayPal does it for me. And they've made it really simple. All I have to do is almost drop a link onto whatever website I'm using to try to market my stuff. That's what the internet's for. It's for marketing. I don't, I'm sorry. This is the whole point is that if you don't collect the information, there's nothing to steal. I give an example here, right here, about having a physical safe, And some people say, ooh, you run a business, you need a safe. Now you have to understand that's people trying to sell you a safe, okay? The first and most important thing about do you really need to have and secure a safe? Just to have a safe, not one thing. The safe itself can be stolen. Then all the stuff inside it can be gotten to at any time later, If you're really big into safes, you have to drill it into the ground so that it can't be easily taken. It has to be kind of a vault that you can't do anything with. And the great thing is you have to look around you and go, wait, what do I have that's so dang important that requires a safe? By and large, we really don't need a lot of those things. As people, there's only just a few vital documents that you may want to try to secure on some level. These days, most people don't even care about that. It used to be very, very interesting, or at least movies used to paint it as very, very interesting to steal your vital data so they can steal your identity. Honestly, that ends up being small potatoes. And, but I said, it's just as valid as anything else, but you don't buy $1 million safe to put it in. So you got to keep security in its place. If you don't collect people's social security numbers, you don't have to worry about them being exposed. Let me tell you, if somebody gets if you hear a news report, I'm sorry, I'm mostly listening to the radio, so I don't equate that to television. I don't watch television. It's all about, ooh, it was this horrible, some business exposed all this stuff. The only thing people care about, they can say, oh, they stole their addresses and their phone numbers and their credit card information. Do you realize that if you didn't have their credit card information, people's addresses and phone numbers are common knowledge? They can be found any number of a variety of ways, and they're out there and available. Most people want them known so they can be contacted, or that they can give information and that get information out to people. This is not secure stuff. So that's an important thing. You can see how I run my business. This is, I do, like I said, you probably don't even come into contact with my business unless you want to buy one of my books. And frankly, I sell the books through Amazon. I don't even touch them. I don't know. I know what my books look like because of the design, kind of pathetic, but there it is. Amazon takes your credit card information. It stores it. I don't. So when you come back and you go, you're a bad thing. You let my information be exposed. Ain't me. It's Amazon. Amazon will get smacked in the head if it does that. It becomes Amazon's business to take care of its security. I don't have to worry about it. Is that a fine service? Yeah. What they do? They take a nice cut of everything that gets sold of my stuff. I don't mind because there's a whole bunch about transactions and things like that I don't have to worry about. I don't even have to know your name. They say, "Ooh, you can upsell if you have to." I don't care. I don't care about people's names. They can buy my stuff, and I'll never know it. It's just a number to me, and some dollars stuck into my account. And that's it. So one of the great reasons to take advantage of outsourcing, at least in my world, oops, why was it not highlighting? Here, come on, baby. There we go. In my universe, one of the best reasons for outsourcing and what makes it so good, given all of its cons, is that you shift your security responsibility onto somebody else. If you aren't in the business of banking, taking people's money, stay away from it. Get an outsourcing partner to do it for you. It is an incredible cost savings for expenses. Well, where's our expenses? Because we're trying to reduce our spending on expenses. Security is an expense. Don't ever think of it as some wonderful feature. It's not a feature for you. It's a feature for security companies. Hopefully, except if you're working at a security company, then you better be really weird about it. I didn't ever want to work for a security company. I don't like the ultimate pain of it. The cost of mistakes is just amazingly high. Smart business looks at risk and should say the risk is too high. I have other methods now. I can outsource the taking of money. Isn't the internet amazing? It's one of the amazing things the internet allows, is that you can carry on a very successful business and never touch money. Never touch one transaction. You can outsource both. You can outsource all the functions around those, and you're free. You're free of those threats. All and you can choose, you can cherry pick what information you want to have. If you're really security adverse, you won't keep much information at all. I'm security averse. That's why I didn't take it in as my master's program. Didn't want to be around it, didn't want to touch it. Would rather be on the management side of IS rather than the security side of it. Just because I don't like having to do those things. Anyway, so here's a wonderful thought. Instead of sitting there and spending so much of your company's time trying to create this amazing lockbox that's supposed to save you from a world of thieves, and that's how we look at it sometimes. Everybody is a potential threat. And it's hard because your customers also start looking like threats too. Oh, he's trying to steal stuff. He's trying to take advantage of me. And if you do that, a business is going to go downhill fast for you. Just can't work. So, all right, we're going to see how this thing goes. We'll see how it gets done, the recording. And hopefully it'll be great. And you'll find I do this a lot. I might dig a little bit deeper, and I might say, why do we do all this? Why not just not have a security problem in the first place? If you don't, anyway. So, okay, that's all I got to say. Have a great day. Oops. No. Okay, we're going to do it this